all have hobbies, right? Some people's hobbies are easier than others, and some people's hobbies are not as easy as some, and that's fine. That's fine. That is a-okay to have a difficult hobby. But the hobby of discussion today is gaming. I love gaming. I have been a gamer since I was like really young. Since like God, I don't even know when I started playing games. I started with the a lot of people say that they started with like Atari and like fucking Atari and NES and stuff like that. I didn't. I did not. I did not start with Atari or NES. I started with the I'm not brushing my hair, by the way. Y'all can just deal. But I started with the I don't know what it's called, but it's like you plug it in the computer and it's just one little joystick. It's one of those. I started with one of those. And it was like Pac-Man and it had Pac-Man, it had I think one of the first versions of Sonic. Um it had Pac-Man, first version of Sonic, Tetris, um it was kinda like an arcade bundle situation. So I started there. And then when I was 10, 11, my mom and I moved in with who would be my stepdad and his family at the time. And they had a bunch of different things. They had like PCs and they had Xboxes and they had PlayStation 1s and they had whatever you play Guitar Hero on. And so I got to grow up in an environment where gaming was not only accepted but also nurtured. And so I started with the arcade. I'm currently playing Disney Dreamlight Valley as we have this discussion. So I started with the little arcade thing with just the one um joystick, and then I moved in with them, and the first ever console game that I played, and I remember it very vivid. I remember it very, very. I'm taking this off because see, they're pissing me. They're pissing me off. If you haven't seen my newer video, it's because so my boyfriend sometimes when he comes over, he stays the night. Technically against his will because he gets too tired to drive, and I'm like, I'm not letting you drive. But one of the times that he was over, we got a little bit too busy, and he blacked out for a moment and like passed out for just momentarily, and he landed on my glasses, and so it's I'm just gonna take them off in my videos because they're pissing me off. But anyway, I remember my first gaming experience on console very vividly. It was Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. I do remember. I do remember which Prince of Persia it was because there's like 4 of them now, right? And I'm pretty sure Sands of Time is getting a remaster. I think I'm pretty sure Sands of Time is getting a remaster. But anyway, so my first experience on a console game was Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. And while I don't remember the gameplay of it, I remember one of my favorite parts was literally the entire point of the game where you use sand to stop time. And ever since then, I was captivated. I was in it. I wanted to play games forever and ever. Now, I never really thought about it as something that I wanted to do as like a business venture, as like a job to do. I never really thought about it past like a hobby. And I guess like technically because I'm doing like online content and stuff, that would be a facet of the stuff that I do would be gaming. Like when I start streaming on Twitch again, I'm going to be doing gaming stuff. So technically speaking, I guess maybe I want it to be like a job thing. But at the time, I was 10, I was 11. I was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. I have this tiny little controller and it makes the things happen. And so then I went from Prince of Persia to a huge fucking jump. I went from Prince of Persia to um GTA. If I remember correctly, it was San Andreas. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. Whichever one was out in 2011. I'm pretty sure it was San Andreas. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I went from Prince of Persia to Grand Theft Auto to GTA. And then from GTA to Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Question mark. And then from Call of Duty to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And then from Assassin's Creed Black Flag to The Sims. And then once I hit The Sims, it was over. It was over. I wanted to play games for like the rest of my life. Like there was no way I was never gonna not. There was no way I was ever gonna not play a game because The Sims is really what did it for me. I started on Sims 2, I believe, and then I got my own console. I got a GameCube. And on the GameCube, I played Over the Hedge. I say played. I never finished it because it was a frustrating ass game. But I played Over the Hedge and Sonic Heroes and Over the Hedge, Sonic Heroes, and I can't remember what the third one was. And then also around the same time I got into Assassin's Creed, I got into Fable. Fucking love Fable. I love me some Fable. So I got to play, I believe 1 and 2. Um, and I'm excited that they're getting a remaster too. Ooh, I just got a couch from the ground. Hell yeah. Um, and then also played around with the Guitar Hero, and I also played around with um Rock Band, stuff like that. My stepdad has a defibrillator, so we really couldn't fuck around with those that much because the way that the wireless stuff was made at the time would have fucked with his defibrillator. It doesn't now because, innovation, but at the time it would have probably killed him, and so we couldn't mess around with it a lot. But I loved Rock Band. I was either singing or on drums, by the way. Were you a drummer? Were you a singer? Were you a pianist? Were you a guitar player? Tag your rock band role in the comments below. Um and so yeah, so Sims, Fable, Sonic Heroes, Over the Hedge. Oh, it was the other one for GameCube was Super Mario Sunshine. Fucking love me some Super Mario Sunshine. I have a couple of videos actually with the Plaza music in the background. And that's how I chose that for the background music is because I fucking love Super Mario Sunshine. And then we moved out, and my stepdad became my stepdad, and my mom got pregnant with my sister, so we moved out and got into an RV. And when we got into an RV, I got my own Xbox for just a little bit because the Xbox unfortunately was broken. But my parents had no way of knowing that. They got it for Christmas. And it was used, but they had no way of knowing that it was broken. So I momentarily played Lego Indiana Jones, I think. And that was decent. I do like the Lego games though. That was a very good. It was either Lego Indiana Jones or Lego Harry Potter. I know it wasn't Lego Star Wars or Batman. Um, and then because it broke, they took it back to the place and got reimbursement for it. And then with the reimbursement, they got me a Wii.
You don't know what the paperwork looks like, so you won't understand it. It's just what it is. It takes what pencil, what sales we do. Air filter block, air filter block fluids, rotate pen, tires, ASI tuning, belts, and fuel system. Takes all of that and puts it into little list. So, okay. So you sold this many. Out of the cars that you've done, this is how many you've sold. All right. Keep it with it. This is how many you've sold. Oh, okay. But instead of doing it, this is how many, no exact number, it's this is how many you've sold percentage wise. So it does it in a percentage. This percentage, we look at, right? This is how much this is, or this is, it's the percentage of however many cars you've done. So let's say, we'll make the math easy. So let's say I did 50 cars and I sold 10% in,
Pardon me, I'm gonna listen to this real quick.
and, uh, it's, and you go based on that percentage. It's supposed to be, it's a percent of 65.
Okay. Anyway, um, as I was saying, yeah. So then I got a Wii, and I got Wii Sports, obviously, because you can't have a Wii without having Wii Sports. I feel like that's everybody's introduction to Nintendo is a variation of Wii Sports. Um, and then I also had Just Dance 2010. I want to say 2010. I could be wrong on that, but I had Just Dance. And then I had the the one where it was like the Mii's, where you could be like social with the Mii's and stuff. Um, and then I think there was like a karaoke game of some kind. I had a bunch of different stuff on on the Wii. Um, I was cycling in and out of games on the Wii like a motherfucker. And then I got a DS and a DS Lite specifically. And with the DS Lite, I got into Nintendogs. I got into um, My Sims. I got Sims Apartments. I got Sonic Colors. Um, Super Mario Brothers, the one where they can like get really big. Bowser's Inside Story. What else? Oh, does anybody remember the Chicken Little game? Or am I just insane? Because I remember the Chicken Little game, and I've been trying to find it. I want to play it. I want to play the Chicken Little game again so bad. I miss it. But I had that. Um, I have Hannah Montana. I had. I can just show you. I have all of them right here. I have, except for Chicken Little. I don't know where Chicken Little went. Um, and also in the same category, I have a 3DS. So I got some 3DS games in there too. But I haven't had the 3DS for long, so I'm not gonna include those. Cory in the House, Brain Age. Um, yeah, I already said Super Mario Brothers, Hannah Montana, Rio, Pokemon Diamond. Sorry, Sims 2 Apartment Pets. The Spider-Man Chronicles, Tinkerbell, and Eminem's Adventure. And I have had those since I got my original DS, by the way. I have had these all of these years, except for Spiderwick Chronicles and Rio. I believe I was just gifted those recently. Uh, and then I got to hold and play a PSP, and on the PSP, I played wrestling, and that's how I discovered Rhea Ripley. And what else? I'm trying to think of everything before the PlayStation. I think that was it. And then when I, for lack of better terms to use on this podcast at the current moment, when I moved to Michigan, I started to play on a PlayStation, and I really liked that. I played on a PS3 and a PS4, and I don't remember what I played. I don't remember what I played on them, but I do remember playing GTA, and I remember playing Call of Duty, and I remember playing some kind of racing game. I don't know. Oh yeah. Also, there was this at one of the daycare centers that my mom worked at. There was a kid that brought in a NES, and on the NES he had it was like a TIE Fighter racer, Star Wars. It was like a Star Wars TIE Fighter racer. It's where you're Anakin and you're racing. And I played the fuck out of that. And what else? And then I've been playing PS4 for God knows how long, for the last decade at least. And then I got into Switch, and I've been kind of going between the two, and I've just recently started to get into computer games or computer versions of games. I have a low-end laptop right now, so I can't really play PC games or anything like that. But I like GTA, Call of Duty, The Sims 4, uh, Lethal Company, Dead by Daylight, Fortnite, Little Nightmares, Minecraft, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, uh, Cy- Cyberpunk 2077. I was about to say Cyberlife. Detroit Become Human. Devil May Cry. Let me look at my. Let me hold up. So I have my thing. I have my little gaming things on here. Cyberpunk, 60 Seconds, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, What Remains of Edith Finch, my bad, Roblox, Cult of the Lamb, literally any Five Nights at Freddy's, Dead Island 1 and 2, Borderlands, Disney Speedstorm, Uno, obviously Uno, Franbo, Dead Island, Dying Light 1 and 2, any Kingdom Hearts ever. Oh, I also had Kingdom Hearts, recoded for the DS Lite also. Um, Detroit, Kingdom Hearts, Cuphead, Spider-Man, The Forest, Jedi Fallen Order, both The Last of Us's. Resident Evil, just the entire series. Diablo, specifically 3, but I'm willing to play other ones. Also, Puyo Puyo Tetris is another one that I had on, I believe it was Switch, or not Switch, DS. Days Gone, Outer Worlds, Overcooked, um, Life is Strange, um, Uncharted, Emily Wants to Play 1 and 2, Plants vs. Zombies, God of War, Crash Bandicoot, Battlegrounds, um, Dead Rising, Goat Simulator, Subnautica, Among the Sleep, Amnesia. I've got so many games under my belt. And then for Steam specifically, pardon me, let me log in real quick because it keeps logging me out. For Steam, I have, is it inventory? Don't look at me like that, Dante. It's not inventory. Tis library. There we go. Slime Rancher, Good Pizza, Great Pizza, uh, Palea, Plant Therapy, Supermarket Together. I have a bunch of escape room games. I have some porn games. One Armed Cook, No More Room in Hell, SCP, but SCP is broken for some reason. It won't let me log on. Don't know what's up with that. If you could load, that would be fabulous. The list is not wanting to load. Hold up. Oh, Biohazard is on sale for $8. Okay. Yeah. I already have Biohazard, but I'll keep that in mind for if I want it on PC. Why are you not? There we go. Okay, Garden of Ban, Dying Light again, Devil May Cry again, Deceit. I haven't gotten to play it yet though. I already said Lethal Company, A Little to the Left, Meet Cute Delivery, which I got recently, and I'm thinking about streaming. Marvel Rivals, which I haven't gotten to play yet. Once Human, which I haven't gotten to play yet. Phasmophobia, Please Don't Touch Anything. Um, Panic Pump. A lot of these I haven't gotten to play yet. Panic Pumpkins, Rogue Company, Star Wars Old Republic, Team Fortress 2, Thief Simulator. This game will end in 205 clicks. I want to stream that one too. The Static Speaks My Name. I want to stream that one. Um, Unpacking, Virtual College. A bunch of these I want to stream because what I've done is I've curated a bunch of games that are low effort on my computer, so hopefully I can stream them because I want to get back into streaming. And then for Xbox, I think for Xbox it's literally just FNAF Security Breach and Minecraft. And that list is growing. That list is growing as much as it can, actually. And then here on my Switch, while I have it in my hand, Disney Dreamlight, Rocket League, Palea, Kirby Star Allies, Among Us, Minecraft, Sky, Children of the Light, Undertale, which I'm still working on, Tomodachi, Life Living the Dream, but it's the demo. I really want the actual game. Asphalt, Tricky Doors, Dead by Daylight, Hamster Playground, Brawlhalla, Animal Crossing, Super Smash Bros., Fortnite, Little Nightmares, Warframe, Speedstorm, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, U Deluxe, Super Mario World, plus Bowser's Fury, Power Wash Simulator, Plants vs. Zombies, Fall Guys, Stardew Valley, FNAF Sister Location, Mario Kart 8, Uno, My Sims, both My Sims Regular and My Sims Kingdom, Pokemon Violet, Overwatch, Apex, Pokemon Cafe, Cartoon Network Battle Crashers, FNAF Security Breach, all of the Kingdom Hearts games, Life is Strange, both the first one and Before the Storm, The Suicide of Rachel Foster, Pokemon Unite, Sonic Colors, Cuphead, Dying Light. That's just what I have loaded onto my system. What I don't have loaded right now is Capcom Arcade Studio. Blades, Kitten Squad, Rogue Company, DC Universe Online, Arena of Valor, the Amnesia Collection, Pac-Man, two different pinball games, Hitman, Warface Clutch, and another Capcom Arcade Studio. And again, the list is growing. The list is growing very rapidly as I can find both the resources and the money for it. So, um, yeah, if I had to pick my favorite games in order, I think it would go. No, I know for a fact that it would go Detroit Become Human, Kingdom Hearts, Resident Evil, Biohazard, Resident Evil Village, Sims 4, Disney Dreamlight Valley, Dead by Daylight, Cyberpunk 2077, Sonic Colors, Chicken Little. And that changes. It changes every so often. Detroit Become Human stays at first place though, because I have a very special relationship with it. Um, which I can go into in a different episode if anybody wants. But Yeah, I really love gaming, and I love gaming as a culture, and I love gaming as something to do, and I love being a quote unquote girl gamer. You know, smash the patriarchy one game at a time. And yeah, I love pushing beyond the mold of girls just playing cozy games because I play cozy games obviously, but I also play some really frustrating games. I play some games that guys are mostly interested in. Uh, and I used to have maps up in the background of like GTA and Cyberpunk, but I don't anymore. Oh yeah, also Red Dead Redemption is another one that I love. I love Red Dead Redemption. Um, and yeah, uh, if you have anything that you want me to talk about, comment down below.